Manchester United Part 2 and Sir Jim's thoughts on Mason Greenwood. That was refreshing yesterday. Well, it was refreshing for me. Many won't like what Sir Jim said. He opened no doors as such. Well, he half opened the door. It's ajar. But no decisions are made yet. He's saying about Greenwood, everyone's assuming Greenwood's gone. He's definitely gone from what we've been told. There's many clubs looking at him, including some of the top clubs in Europe. All three of the big Spanish teams have been rumoured to be interested in him. That's Atletico, Real and also Barcelona. We have been reading over the last week or so Barcelona have even been in talks with United, but we know you can't believe anything you read in the papers. It looked like it was a done deal somewhere. It looked like we were going to get money for him, reasonable money. Nothing like what he's worth, but reasonable money. It's still probably his favourite. That's probably what's going to happen. He's probably going to go. We'll get about 25 or 30 million. Not bad after what's gone on, but nothing compared to what he's worth. He's probably worth about 120, I would suggest. But Sir Jimmy's saying, no. Decisions may have been made by the past regime. He's in there now. He's going to look at all things. He's going to look at it from a Manchester United point of view, the players and players' welfare point of view. He's going to look at the morals of the thing, the fabric of the club. But he's going to listen to all sides and he's going to make an informed decision. And I thought, great, that's what I was hoping would happen. I hope he's done what I recommended to some of yourselves a few months ago. I hope he's got that 2 or 3 page piece from the Daily Mail that I actually read out on here once, because I think that changes many preconceptions. Is that the word? Many thoughts on Mason Greenwood. I think if you read that from the Mail, those that are absolutely adamant that he's a woman beater or a rapist or is this or is that may change their opinion. I hope for one that he brings Greenwood back over to Old Trafford. He sits him down, has a chat with him rather than just the hierarchy at Man United. I hope Greenwood himself is involved. Probably no agents, I would suggest. And maybe, just maybe, although it probably won't happen, his girlfriend. Bring her in as well. I've always said, and I may be wrong about this, I believe there's a slight chance there was a bit of coercion on her part, bit of manipulation, and I might be wrong about all of this, but I do know they've had a volatile relationship. Not just Greenwood with her, also her with Greenwood, because I've now since read that since it all kicked off. And as we've discussed already, he has been cleared by one and all. He's been cleared throughout the country. It's not going to court. She's had a baby with him and she's going to marry him. She's still living with him. And was it the CEO at United said, we've looked into things and we've got to categorically state we believe he's innocent of all the charges. We really do believe that. But because of the furore and what it's causing, we've got to send him away and it looks like he'll never play for the club again. I know there's many women's groups and what have you shouting from the rooftops that he shouldn't come back. I know old Rachel Riley, the Countdown Girl, said the same. But I think they should really have a good look at the case. I think they should sit him down and go through things and pick an informed decision. Because I still maintain he's the best player at the club who isn't at the club. Were he there, he's the best player we've got. He's better than Bruno. He's better than Rashford for me. He's better than all of them. He's still only 22. He may only got 5 goals this year, but I believe he's playing in the midfield position rather than the wing, which he'd normally be on. He's a great winger for us. He's a great centre forward for us. He's only 22. He's only going to get better. He's as talented as anybody we've got. He's as fast as most everybody we've got. He's better with both feet than anybody that we've got. He's more clinical than anybody, absolutely, no doubt. Garnacho gets free again the other day on a one-on-one, and even with all that time in the world, I'm thinking he's not going to score this. Hoping he would, thinking he wouldn't. Had it have been Greenwood, I can go make a cup of tea knowing that when I come back, it's a goal. Absolutely no danger. The boy's got ice through his veins. With either foot, he's the best there is. The games where we have loads and loads of chances and taking on, I just think, I wish Greenwood was on. He'd have got 2 or even 3. He's just brilliant. He really is. The great thing is, we can look at him as a winger, we can look at him as a backup to Højlund. He can play either position and he'd do great for us. I don't want him gone, I've said it many times. I don't want a rapist at our club. I don't want a wife beater or a woman beater at our club. I don't want that. But I still think there's mitigating circumstances, and I still think his young lady there had a part to play in it, and I might be wrong. But if I'm right, I just do hope they don't just bin him. I hope they have a real good chat, have a look into things properly, And I hope Sir Jim shows the leadership qualities that he no doubt must have to have got where he's got, and makes his own opinion and does what's right for the club, for the player, and for the fans. But also for Sir Jim himself, for himself. You know, if he sits in front of him and he thinks, wait a minute, this guy isn't the cleverest soul in the world, because that's what we've read. The guy's had and got some issues, but on the field he's absolutely phenomenal. He's better than anybody we've got. And I don't think deep down he's a real bad boy. And I do think he's seen the error of his ways. And I do think the Mason Greenwood coming back to the club, should he come back to the club, will be a different version of Greenwood, which is what I've always said. There'll be no more timekeeping issues. There'll be no more domestic issues. He will want to keep his nose completely clean. When all said and done, the first year and a half, he's just going to be keeping his head down, because he's going to get dog's abuse from everywhere. The fact that the report says he's not the cleverest soul in the world might help him on that front. But when he gets through that, I see only good things for Greenwood and United. He's going to kill me if he goes to Barca or Real Madrid or wherever and makes them stronger. I'm going to hate seeing him coming back to Old Trafford, scoring goals against us, knowing that we've had him since, 7, 8, 9, brought him through and made him the player he is, because he's a phenomenal player. He really is. I know many won't agree with me. Many will have heard that video, like I have, or the audio, and think, no, he's this or he's that. But as I say, I think there's more to the whole story. There's more to the whole story, I really do. And if there is, I hope Sir Jim finds out that there is, and he makes the right decision for the club. Because imagine having Greenwood back next year. I mean, for me, bring Greenwood back, I'd have Greenwood and Garnacho on each wing and Rasmus through the middle. For me, Rashford would be the sub, or even gone if he had to go, because he's better than Rashford for me. He is, honestly. No doubt about that in my mind. But we shall see. We shall see what we shall see. But if we can create chances, he's the man to put them away. Absolutely no doubt about that. No doubt about that. All I would ask is if he did come back, we play him in front of a proper full-back and not Wan-Bissaka.